All right, we are going to be reviewing everything we need to know for our Module 9 test. So we are going to start with balancing these equations or inequalities. So let's start right over here. So we always want to isolate that variable. So here is my variable, so I need to move 9 to the other side. We're moving number to the other side. Not moving everything to the variable, move everything away from the variable. So the opposite of adding 9 is to take 9 away. Now we need to remember this is 9 ones. We need to line those decimals up. So if I do it to this side, right, 9 minus 9 ends up being 0. I just am left with h. So I'm taking 9 away from the other side to keep those things balanced on both sides. I have to see this balance. I have to see the balance for you to get it right. So there is 2, bringing down my decimal, and 17 minus 9 is 8, 8.2. So bringing down my equal sign, all that's left over here is h. 8.2 equals h. So I'm asking myself, 9 plus 8.2 makes sense, 17.2. Hey, I'm finding my variable, and then I want to keep it on one side, and then numbers to the other side. So balance the equation. The opposite of minus 52 is to add 52 to both sides. So here, right, I'm at negative 52. I owe my parents $52. I pay them back. Now I have no money. All I'm left with is b equals, I add these up, I have 8 and 14 and 5. B equals 548. Okay, so this, here we have a divide symbol, j divided by 4. So lots of us just see 4 and 20. We're like, oh, 5, right? We just connect those together, right? That's great fact, family. 5 divided by 4 is not 20. We need to do the opposite. So here's j. I need to move 4 to the other side. I need to undo this. The opposite of divide is multiply. So I multiply here, I multiply here. So this gets rid of itself. So now I do it over here, and 20 times 4 is 80. So all I'm left with is j equals 80. 80 divided by 4 is 20. That makes a lot more sense than 5 divided by 4 being 20. Go back and check your math, okay? Find your variable, see what it is, and you have to do the opposite to both sides. I know you guys know that, but you have to do it. Okay, here we have 3/4, and we're timesing that by w. The opposite of times is to divide by 3/4. 3/4 divided by 3/4 is just 1, so 1w here. And then I'm taking 6 and dividing it by 3/4. Now this is over 1, so I can't really do 1 divided by 4, so I'm going to copy, dot, and flop here. So these cancel out 1 time, 2 times. That's not a very nice 2. 2 times 4 is 8 over 1. So w is 8. 3/4 of 8 is 6, right? 75% of 8, if I take 8, cut it into 3 pieces, I would have 6 of that, or 4 pieces. 3 of those pieces would be 6. So inequalities are exactly the same, but instead of bringing down my equal sign, I bring down the comparing sign. So an inequality is an equation with a comparing sign, right? It is not equal. So I find my variable. I need to move 14 to the other side. So I'm going to do the opposite of adding 14, or the opposite of minus 14 is to add 14 to both sides. I need to make sure to line my decimals up. This is 3 and 5/10. Here's 1 10, 4 ones, 0 tenths, and I'm adding those on. So this cancels out, right? Negative 14 plus 14 makes 0. All I'm left with is r. So I'm adding these up, 17.5. I bring my symbol down, bring my variable down. 17.5 is greater than R. You have to bring everything down. If you just say 17.5 without telling me that it's greater than R, I can't give you full credit. That's going to be half the points if you just solve it. You have to finish and tell me that that's going to be bigger than R. R would be less than that. So here we have 4 G's. So they're all, when it's right together, it's multiply, just like this one was, right by it, multiply. So I want G alone, so I need to move 4 to the opposite side. So divide by 4 on both sides. That cancels out. So I'm left with G here. Bring my symbol down. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So now, right, these have the same numbers, 4 and 20, 4 and 20. But this one was multiply, this one was divide. 4 times 5 is 20. So G is less than 5. So anything less than 5 would give me that answer there. So just bring your variable down, bring your symbol down, bring your answer down. Opposites to both sides. Hey, we're also going to be writing equations. So we just solved them. You also have to write them. So a group of people went snow tubing. 3/5 of the people that went tubing also bought hot chocolate. If 25 people bought hot chocolate, write an equation to show how many people went tea tubing. So things I know about equations is it must have an equal sign. It's got to have an operation and it needs something on both sides. Some of us like to, right, we write a problem. I'm just going to make one up. I might say something like 4 plus 7 and you finish it with an equal sign and you don't put anything on the other side. That's not balanced, right? You have to have something on both sides. So in this case, we've got 3/5. We have 25 people and we have this T for tubing. So those are the things I need in my equation. One of those needs to be on an opposite side. So I'm going to start thinking through this. So I know I have the people that went snow tubing, or T for snow tubing, and I have people that got hot chocolate. So I'm going to start thinking through. Somehow I have to balance these out. So 3/5 of the people that went tubing. So 3/5 of the tubing people. So 3/5 of means multiply. So of the tubing people bought hot chocolate. 25 people bought hot chocolate. I think I just did my equation there. 3/5 of the people that went tubing equals the people that bought hot chocolate. So 3/5 of the people that went tubing bought hot chocolate. 25 people bought hot chocolate. So one thing I know is that, right, the people that bought hot chocolate is less. So there's a bunch of people that went tubing, but only, right? So here's my people that went tubing, 100% of these people. But only 1, 2, 3, right? Only these 3/5 bought hot chocolate. So I've got to have more people that go tubing. When I multiply it by a fraction, my answer gets smaller. So my tubing should actually be bigger. So that makes sense. So my equation could be 3/5 of T equals 25. So that's just one way. Oh, I do not know what I have clicked here. So got some news for you. So there we go. Okay, so that's just one way to solve an equation. There's lots of ways to do that, right? So if we had something like telling us that we have 40 people in our class, A people were absent. Now there were, let's make there. Now there were 17 people left. Write an equation for the absent, my goodness, I can't spell absent, people, right? I have 40 people. I don't have my pen on. 40 people. I know A people were absent. I know 17 people were left. A lot of you want to solve this and tell me the answer, but I want it for A absent people. So I could take 40, and I know there's 17 left, right? So if I minus the absent people, that will give me 17. I could take 40 people. I could minus who's left in class, and that would tell me how many people are absent. I could take the absent people, add the people who are in class. That should equal all of the people that should be in class. I could take the people that are in class. I could take the people that are absent. That should equal the total class. So there's 4 ways to write the equation. I don't care which one you use, but it has to have the variable, has to have the numbers from the problem, and it has to have that equal sign showing me what operation you would do from that story problem. Okay, the last part of our test is talking about inequalities. So we have less than signs, we have greater than signs, and then we also have less than or equal to signs. So it could be smaller, but it could be equal. And then we have greater than or equal to signs. So it's got that line underneath, half equal sign, half comparing sign. So some words that mean less than, fewer than, below, under, more than, above, over. So some of these kind of sound backwards, right? Less, but this one says most. So when I say it's at most, you actually go less than. So the most you could have, right? Like the most you could get on this test is 12 points. Right? You can only get, you can't get more than that. So you have to get less than that. So these words kind of actually go backwards, right? You can get no more than 12 points. You can get equal to 12 points or less than 12 points. So those are words that mean less than, so they kind of go backwards. And greater than or equal to, same thing, right? If you have to be at least this tall to ride a ride, that means you have to be that tall or taller. So you hear least and you think, oh, you got to be small. That means you have to be that or taller. So they're kind of backwards words. Okay, so let's look here. So Marco has at least $40. So at least 40. So he could have more. So whenever I'm writing these, we're going to write this inequality. So to show how much money Marco has. So I want to write my M for money and my number I know, 40. So I want to start thinking he has at least 40. Okay, so I'm just going to write some numbers here. What could Marco have? Like, does Marco have $30? No, he has at least 40. He's got more than that. Okay, does Marco have 41? Yeah, he could. He's got at least 40. Right? He could have 45. And then I always want to ask myself, could Marco have 40? Yeah, like he could, right? He just has at least, that's like the smallest number. So he could have 40. So this M could equal 40, and it could be bigger. So once I know my variable and I have some ideas, that helps me know which way my symbol should go. That's always the hardest part, is figuring out your symbol. And then once you have this, so we know it's 40, so I come and circle 40. And because it has that line underneath it, you fill in your circle to grab it and include it. That door is shut. Fill it in. And it could equal things like 40, 41, 45, anything. Marco could have anything with money larger than that. Okay, so if you want money for watching this video, you're going to email me or come quietly tell me. Don't let people that didn't watch the video get the money. At least 3 amounts of money that Marco could have. And that's it. That's all you got to do. So, okay. Let me know if you have any questions or if there's a question on here that you are not getting and would like more help with before we take our test.